Good evening, I'm Brandon Rowe on King Street, and all week on City News we've been talking about your commute, and today you can say some commute confusion officially kicked off. If you're driving, you probably noticed that sign. This pilot project is going to affect the way you drive, along with the TTC calls the busiest surface route in the city. The one-year pilot project now means cars on King Street between Jarvis and Bathurst can only travel one block before being forced to turn right. Cars traveling east on King Street must turn at Bathurst Street, and vehicles traveling westbound must turn when approaching Jarvis Street. The reason for this project, the TTC says that more than 65,000 people take the King streetcar to commute during the week, but their trips have been slowed down by congestion. Some commuters tell me the congestion has been so bad in the past that it was faster to get off the streetcar and walk. Now, with a new rule comes education, and many motorists had no clue they were even breaking the rules today till they got pulled over.
Pull right up. I've got three. Stop over there. Thank you. Over. Thank you.
I actually just found out this week from people at work. I work right up here, but I didn't realize it was being implemented this weekend.
Well, what do you think about it?
I'm not quite sure. It'll probably make it a little more difficult for people like us that drive on this street all the time, so that's not the most convenient thing, but for people who take it and commute on it, it'll definitely benefit them.
It might not be convenient for drivers, but streetcar riders are actually pretty excited about this pilot project and what it could mean for their weekly commute.
Well, when I do have to use the King Street streetcar, it's slow. It takes a really long time to get along King Street, and there's a lot of people in the streetcar, and so we need to make it move faster.
So you're excited about this new rule?
I am. We have to try something, right? I mean, the current situation is failing, so let's try something. Let's see how this works. And it's all about moving a lot of people, and we need to move more people in King Street.
Just sold our condo last Wednesday because it's insane the amount of traffic that's on King West all the time. It seems like everything's moving a little better, but a little too late.
It's going to take some getting used to, but I'm hoping that with the new rules, it'll be a little bit more quiet in this neighborhood because it's a very noisy neighborhood.
I mean, unless you're going to put more streetcars on the street, this is just a stupid idea. Especially during the starting of the holidays when we're going to get more visitors and more people.
You can only go basically one block at a time. So maybe it'll make it so that less people use King Street, which is fine too.
Now, for cyclists, there is space provided along the curb lane, but there's no plan for a designated bike lane to be installed along King Street. Now, this pilot project also affects the taxi industry. All cabs are allowed to go through the pilot project area between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. Now, coming up, the ripple effect and how this new project will affect other areas in the city and how the police are monitoring it. And remember, we want to hear you as we continue to examine your weekly commute. And you can sound off on these issues by using the hashtag #CityCommute. Earlier in the show, we told you about the new King Street pilot project that kicked off today. Here's how it works. Cars can only drive a block on King before they're forced to turn right. The reason, to ease streetcar traffic. But the impact of this project won't be felt here on King. Seems it's already affecting people who live and work on surrounding streets.
It's going to be really congesting a lot of traffic in other streets, maybe not on King, but certainly on Queen. For me, I live around the corner, and turning right on Bathurst and back right on Adelaide, I don't see the problem in this moment. But if I want to go further down to King Street, yes. And I drive that street quite often, almost every day. So it would make me do a lot of the tours.
Toronto police are aware of this ripple effect and will be looking into this potential problem as they continue to educate people about the new King Street pilot project.
Well, this is a fluid type education campaign. We will be monitoring changes to the environment in the sense that individuals that are now backing up side streets or committing offenses, whatever the case may be, their officers are going to make adjustments depending on what they're seeing, and they're going to advise us of anything that they've identified that may be an ongoing problem.
Toronto Police understand that this new pilot project may come with some confusion, so they're giving drivers time to get comfortable. Instead of giving you a ticket for a week-long grace period, they're going to give you a warning and some literature about the new rules. But it's at the officer's discretion whether or not they'll give you a ticket. And if you do get a ticket, it could set you back $110 and 2 demerit points. Pam.